All right, we're good and we are live. Let me turn my camera on. Good evening, everyone. Mondays are fun days. Mondays are fun days. Mondays are silly crazy for me. Crazy busy and even busier today. Yes, I'm gonna say the word busy. I know that my brother Sean like was like, "You're on assignment." No, I'm super busy. Yeah, I couldn't even respond. I was trying to respond to every message in my phone. So super duper excited for all of you that are here, whether you're watching us on Zoom. Hopefully you're on Zoom because this goes to YouTube. That's really for my viewership. I really want you all, if you're on YouTube, I need y'all to come onto the Zoom line, right? And I believe that my husband is normally live on the YouTube link, and what he will do is he will put the Zoom ID into the YouTube. But if you're on YouTube, you might want to write this down. It is 678 062 8230. 678 0628230. I want you guys to get on the Zoom so that we can interact together. We would love you much better here, right? We're gonna love you anyway, but we'll love it if you were over here with us on Zoom so that we can see each other. And so I'm praying that you all had an amazing, amazing week. We didn't have book club last week. I was in sessions recording for a women's summit. And so I appreciate all of you giving me some grace to not be here. I know it's summertime, and so all of us are super busy with our lives. And but Mondays are important, and because on Mondays all roads lead to book club, and book club is so important because we cannot pour from an empty cup. One, we cannot pour from an empty cup. Two, leaders are readers. And three, we are never going to earn more than we learn. Now, here's the deal, that is not in any order of importance. So, what I want you all to do is, I want you to send out a message to somebody. Take this link that you have and send it to three to five people, and then comment done. And I want to know in the comments, are you ready to level up? Because if you're ready to level up, we're going to be getting started so that we don't waste any time. But take the link and send this link out to three to five people, letting them know that this is the place to be. Monday nights are the best night. One, because personal growth and development is so near and dear to my heart. I'm going to let some people know that we are live. Thank you, Paul, for sending out that link for me into all of our chats. All right, so thank you so much. I'm going to send it in one more chat to let people know that we are live and we want them here on Zoom with us because leaders are readers and we need to be able to learn and grow together. So thank you to all of you that are appointed as hosts for the evening, co-hosts for the evening, so you can continue to let people into the room so we can learn and grow together. Let me know, is my volume okay? Can y'all hear me well enough? Give me a thumbs up. Perfect. All right. So we are currently in chapter five. I'm sorry. I know I said six, but it's five. We're in chapter five. I think the email went out saying that we were in chapter six, but we're actually in chapter five. And we're in the chapter that's saying expect an abundance. Now, here's what's so dope. I think that we really need to take a moment, and we did it once, but we're going to do it again, and we're going to define the words. We're going to define definition of expect. We did it before, we're going to do it again because it is very important for us to know what the words actually mean. So the word expect means to regard something as likely to happen. Before we get started, I know many of you have a notebook and a pen. And for those of you that do have a notebook and a pen, Miss Betty, I love it. On Mondays, y'all, let me tell you what I love about Miss Betty. On Mondays, she cooks her dinner, makes sure that her husband's dinner is ready while we're on book club. And then when she's finished cooking dinner, she goes and sits out on the porch. And I know y'all think that I don't know this stuff, but I know this everything. And I noticed that she doesn't make an excuse to be here. She's actually cooking her husband's dinner while she's on book club, and then as soon as she's finished, she goes and she sits down on her porch so that she can join for the rest of the book club. Thank you so much, Miss Betty, for seeing something in me to want to be here and to really want to invest in your own personal growth and development time. And so Miss Betty is here because she regards something as likely to happen. I want you all to think of three things that you want to happen in your life right now, like in the next 30, 60, 90 days, and write it down. Because, I was at a Moguls in Motion youth entrepreneurs mentorship weekend summit. And one of the things that one of the leaders, one of the facilitators, one of the sponsors of the event said, as we were praying, she said, if it's not written down, it's not going to happen. If it's not written down, it's not going to happen. So there's some things that I know I need to happen too. Let me take my notebook out. One of my notebooks, there's tons of notebooks around me. Let me go to a clean page of this notebook, and I'm going to write what I need. I got to make sure that I have an empty page. What I need to happen. So we're doing this together because we're going to regard something as likely to happen. What is regarding something as likely to happen? I'm gonna write it down. Mm-hmm. That's three things. Let's write it down. If you're just joining us, we're writing three things down that we expect. Regard something as likely to happen. I'm gonna write one more thing. I'm actually gonna write two things. I'm actually writing about six things down. All right, there we go. All right, I wrote mine down. So expect. Expect is to regard something as likely to happen. And then the definition of the word abundance. 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 So the definition of the word abundance is a very large quantity of something. Let me go down here because I know where we at. The quality of having what you want in life. Abundance. To have an abundance of something is to have more than you need. So to have something in abundance is having more than you need. It's extremely plentiful or over sufficient quality or supply of abundance, right? Quantity refers to a large amount of something. So if we are what? Expecting means that it's simply something that we regard as something that is definitely going to happen. So we're expecting in abundance above all that we could ever ask or think. I don't know about y'all, but even the title of this chapter has me in a chokehold because I am expecting in abundance. See, let me tell y'all something. We get so caught up on what it looks like in front of us. We get too caught up in what the numbers look like. And we snatch back out of the atmosphere what we sow into the atmosphere in belief. We snatch it back when we believe in the physical that it's not going to happen because of what we think we're looking at. When I know a God and I serve a God that is a God that owns all the houses, all the cattle, all the land, all the silver, all the gold. So if my God that I'm an heir and a joint heir of his kingdom owns everything and can make something happen in the snap of his finger. How many of y'all read How many of y'all read a chapter and a verse before where it said, and I'm not going to state where it's from because I'm not trying to make this a Bible study, right? We do that, and we do that on the first Saturdays. So we'll have right, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? First Saturday of September, we'll be meeting in person again, right? So here's the deal. There's a book and a chapter that says, let there be. Anybody read that before? Let there be. So in a moment, Misha, things were spoken into existence. Why do we believe that what we're asking for, that what we wrote down tonight, why do we even think that it can't happen? So what you sow in faith, you got to leave it there in faith, believing that it is going to manifest a harvest off of what you wrote. So when you wrote, so you know what? Your prayers ought to be, God, help my unbelief, because he's already proven you're a miracle. So what more does God have to prove to us? If I'm a miracle, I look in the mirror every day, Mattia, and I'm like, I'm a miracle. And I know I'm a miracle because I was headed on another kind of path. So if I'm a miracle, if I am walking in abundance, no college degree, no form of professional business schooling or training. If I am a walking miracle, I'm a walking miracle, an example of what abundance, how abundance looks, what it looks like, how you can obtain it. It has nothing to do with going to school. I wasn't born with a different kind of blood, but I do have a work ethic that'll outbeat any skilled person. So expect an abundance. I need us while we're in this chapter to expect an abundance. As a matter of fact, to the point, y'all, when something don't happen, I'm trying to figure out like, what is this moving so slow for? Because I'm expecting it. I'm expecting every person that I meet to say yes to me. And when they don't, I just walk away feeling bad. I'm expecting, like right now, I'm watching my numbers because I'm expecting by December 31st of 2025, I am going to have 1,000 customers in the system. And I'm already pretty much at about 400. This weekend, while busy, there are 30 customers registered because I'm expecting, Sharnice, an abundance. It's what I expect. I don't put something out there in the back of my mind. I'm saying, well, this ain't really going to happen. No way. But I mean, I'm going to just do it. You might as well not do it at all. If you don't believe what you can't put it in the atmosphere, then snatch it back. Because God understands that you really don't believe. Okay, let me stop because let me start reading. You must reach the stage in your mental development. Oh, what are we reading, y'all? We're reading Born Rich. So for those of you, maybe it's your first time, we're reading Born Rich by Bob Proctor. He's my mentor uncle in my mind. Okay, in my mind. So you must reach the stage in your mental development where you just don't believe that your image of material wealth will manifest in form, but you actually know that it will. Did I just say that or what? See, some people are waiting for some belief while others are like, I may not know how it's going to happen, but I know it's going to happen. And that's where I am every single day of my life. I may not know how it's going to happen, but that's not my thing to worry about. All I got to know is, Tedra, that every day I'm doing the things that's going to draw what I want to happen. Period. So a wealthy elderly gentleman interviewed by a newspaper reporter was asked at what point he became successful. His answer was, I was successful when I was sleeping on a park bench because I knew where I was and I knew where I was going. Some of y'all need to catch that. So see, you think success is a rank, a title, an amount of money, but no. Laying on the park bench, he understood where he was going, who he was. And although at that moment, it might have looked real grim like a hard park bench, he understood the assignment. Some of y'all, okay, let me just keep reading because ain't nobody as excited as me today, right? He said, because I knew where I was and I knew where I was going. At this juncture in the book, you know where you are and you know where you're going. So expect to get there. See, I don't need motivational talks and motivational speeches, and I don't need nobody to inspire me. You know what inspires me, Tedra? When I write down what I want and it hasn't happened yet, I'm inspired every day to go back to what I said I wanted. And when I go back to what I said I wanted and it hasn't happened yet, I'm inspired because I'm in anticipation about how God's going to use people to make it happen. Because it's the who, not the how. It's the who. Who am I going to meet that's going to help me or help to open the door? How did I know that meeting a Marcus Rozier was then going to paying for a $2,000 entrepreneur speaker business class was going to then open? You know what? There are a lot of people, Tedra, that'll sit around and say, why would you spend $2,000 on a speaker, on a 2-day speaker class? Well, what, you don't even have nothing to take back from that. Oh, hold your beep, beep, pause, pump your brakes. See, I didn't go to that business class for selfies with people. I didn't go to that business class, Charnice, to be able to post and say that I was there. But what that seed did for me was it opened up the door for my gifts to make room for me. And Jasmine, once my gifts made room for me, I was then put on a bigger platform. Maybe some. And then, Tedra, I have another meeting tomorrow to potentially secure me speaking on platforms permanently. I need people to understand. I just need people to understand. Your gifts make room for you. And I knew that I was a speaker when people was laughing at me, when people was talking about me, when people were criticizing. I knew I was a speaker when I was stuttering and couldn't speak. Somebody ought to catch that one. When I was stuttering and couldn't speak. But you know what changed, Charnice? What goes in is what comes out. And what happens is when you want something bad enough, and what you do is when you want it bad enough and you start studying as if you're already there, when you start just speaking all the time, and you know what? You keep doing it until you're good. So you might start off bad, but you keep doing it until you're good. And what I realized is, I saw a conversation with Myron Golden. And this conversation that I saw with Myron Golden, Miss Betty, they asked him about mastery and what does it take to get to mastery? And he was like, that's an interesting question. He said, let me untie my shoe and then let me tie it again. He said, I'm gonna close my eyes when I tie my shoestring. BP, he said, let me close my eyes when I tie my shoestring, Miss Edna. So what we need to understand is Myron Golden had mastered tying his shoe because Lady Ebony, how many times did Myron Golden practice tying his shoe over and over and over and over and over again until he got good? So what happens now is, I don't care what presentation it is, because I know how to present. I know the energy that you need. I know pause points. I understand the schematics of your voice. And because I've studied, Lady Ebony, because I've studied to show myself approved. And when I had one person on a Zoom, or when I had 1,000 people on a Zoom, see, somebody's going to catch that in just a minute. There were times when I had one person on a Zoom, 2 people on a Zoom, 5 people on a Zoom, 10 people on a Zoom. But last week, your girl from the hood had over 1,500 people watching live because I would dare to do it over and over and over and over and over again until I got good. So what is mastery? What does that look like? Well, it looks like this says at this juncture in this book, at this juncture of this, if you've been reading this with us from the beginning, It says at this juncture in this book, you know where you are and you know where you're going. It says, so expect to get there. I want y'all to write in the comments, expect. Write it in the comments, expect, 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 expect. Your desire is the motor power that will move you in the direction of your dream. I want you to hear that again. Your desire is the motor power that will move you in the direction of your dream. Tedra, get the word desire, the definition of desire out for me. Your desire is the motor power that will move you in the direction of your dream. So what that says to me, everyone that's listening, whether you're watching it live or you're watching the replay or whatever the case may be, what this says to me is this. If you have, you know, you hear that, well, where there's a will, there's a way. Anybody ever heard that before? Anybody ever heard that? Well, where there's a will, there's a way. Well, guess what? There's another part to that. Where there is no will, there is no way. So where there is a will, yes, there is a way. But where there is no will, there is no way. So I don't know about you, Tedra, but this says your desire is the motor power that will move you in the direction of your dream. And expectation is the attractive force that will move your dream in your direction. So, Tedra, what does desire even mean?
Hold on, I'm going to read it to you. This is good too. It says, desire means to strongly wish for or want something, often accomplished by a feeling of craving or longing. It can refer to a wish, a craving, or even a sexual appetite. Desire can be directed towards obtaining something pleasurable, whether intellectual or spiritual. It can also be a request or the object of a wish.
Oh, thank you so much, Mrs. Gordon. Thank you so much. All right, listen, y'all. Listen, I can't make this up. If you don't have a pure desire, if you don't have a pure desire, see, Miss Edna, there's a lot of people that think they have a desire. But what happens, Miss Edna, what happens, Sonia, what happens, Mama Nisi, what happens, Erica, is what happens is they find any old excuse or any old reason to blame why they're not having success. And why is that? Because Lady Ebony, they really don't have a desire. They got a wish. They got a wish, not a desire, because desire drives us. How is it that I function at 53? I am not a young girl. I'm not old, but I ain't young. How is it that I function, Tara, in the capacity that I function in? Because I don't look at when did I eat. I don't look at what the clock says. What I'm driven by is my desire to be a better version of myself. Somebody ought to hear that. So why will I spend time learning how to edit a video over and over and over and over and over again? I will watch a YouTube video over and over and over and over again because my desire to be better than I was the day before, my desire to have more than I had before, my desire to operate in excellence. Why is it that we expect excellence from everybody, but we don't give it? Why we expect everybody to be excellent? We want excellent service. We want excellent customer service. We want excellent coaches and mentors. And we want everybody to be so excellent. But we can half do, I almost said something else. We can half do what we do. But everybody else better show up with their A game. Your desire, the book says, is your motor power that will move you in the direction of your dream. So when people aren't moving, I know what the problem is, Sharnice. They're lying about their desire. Oh, I just want to help people. You're lying. Because if you really wanted to help other people, ain't nothing in heaven or hell that will keep you from doing it. Because the book says that your desire is the motor power that will move you in the direction of your dream. In the direction, towards it, not away from it. So I ain't like the way she said. I ain't like the way. I think that post about me. I think, oh, you have no desire. I could care less. As a matter of fact, I don't see negative stuff on social media, y'all, because I ain't looking for nothing negative. I'm only looking for positive. I'm only looking at things that will advance me, take me forward. I'm only looking to be around people who are high energy. Don't come around me with no low energy. Don't do it. Because I'm in a season of growth and elevation, and you're going to get left behind. And so this says, wait a minute, see yourself. Wait a minute, it says, see yourself moving toward the wealth that you visualize. See yourself. What did you write on this paper? What did you write on this paper? Let me tell you something. Your past doesn't disqualify you from moving towards the wealth that you visualize. It does not. What we've done in our past doesn't disqualify us from visualizing what you want. If you want to walk around with designer bags on your arm all the time, visualize it. Visualize the house you want to live in. I visualized this house. Visualize the cars you want to drive in. Visualize what you want your body to look like. Visualize what you want your bank account to look like, and stop it blaming other people and other things and everything else about why something not happening for you. It's your mindset. You attract who and what you are. It's the reality of it. I saw Mattia walking with this big old YSL bag on her shoulder. And I said, that's a nice bag, on her post. I wasn't coveting it. I said, that's a nice bag. I wouldn't mind having that bag. So then I started in my mind, like, you can buy that bag, but see, I like to give myself goals. So I like to say, well, let me go see what the bag cost. And then what I'll do is I'll retail a certain amount of product or something, or I'll perform a service for somebody to pay for the bag that I want. Does anybody understand this? Because why can't I have it too? I said, that's a nice bag, Mattia. I'm just using it as an example. Does everybody have it? Like, what do you want? So what? Somebody else think is crazy that what you want a bag for like that. Lean in. Let me share something with y'all. Lean in. Let me put us all on view so I can see everybody's faces that's on camera. Lean in. You know, people who say things like, I would never pay that much for a bag. I would never pay that much for some shoes. I would never spend that much on perfume or cologne. I would never pay that much for a watch. Only broke people say that. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the See, because let me tell you something. When I was broke and broke-minded, I hope y'all hearing what I'm saying. I need you to hear me in the spirit. Hear me in the spirit. When I was broke and broke in, I would say dumb things like that. I would say ignorant things like that. It was out of ignorance. Because there are colognes that when I was broke and broke in, I didn't even know existed. I need y'all to... There's perfumes that I was like, what? I remember. So let me tell y'all something. I'm trying to get through this book. Wealth has a smell to it. Did y'all know that? Like, wealth just like has a smell to it. And when you see people that are wealthy, they might not have on flashy clothes. But it has let me tell you what the look of wealth in a lot of cases, not in all, because there are some very, very wealthy people who still don't really like, y'all understand what I'm saying? But the average wealthy man is going to have on a timepiece. They don't even call them watches. Because see, when you get into another bracket of spending, it's a timepiece. It is not a watch. You don't spend $25,000, $30,000, $50,000, $75,000 on a timepiece and call it a watch. And I know you're like, I would never spend $75,000 on a watch. That's exactly why you'll never have one. Because it is our mindset. And the thing is this, hear my heart. I'm not saying that you should want one. You don't have to want one. I'm just telling you that wealthy people, one of the first things they look at is what watch you're wearing. Timepiece. They don't look at your shoes. They don't care. But they looking to see what's on your wrist. And they can smell you. Because wealth has a smell. And I remember when I started hanging around Lady Ebony, very wealthy people, and I started asking, that smell is amazing. What is that cologne you have on her? What is that perfume they had on? And they would say the name, and I would be like, huh? What? Because that wasn't at the counter in Macy's. Y'all, let me finish. Let me put this back on let me just, never mind. Never mind. Because I know somebody's going to hear what I'm saying and they're going to take it as a put down. When Tedra, I'm trying to lift us up. I'm trying to open your mind. Everybody understand I'm trying to help you lift you up. I'm trying to open your mind to what's possible. To what's possible. We were in the department store the other day because I had to, and Misha has spent the night at my house. She knows Tedra's been here before. Jasmine has been here. Nichelle has been here. And I'm not saying this to brag. I'm trying to help you understand. I'm trying to open your mind. So we were in the department store the other day, and I said, I work really hard. Anybody that knows me knows I love perfume, right? I love it. Love it. So I always tell people, you don't know what to get me? Just give me a gift card to one of my stores Dillard's or Saks or something where I can go get my smell goods. I collect all the gift cards together, and then I'll go and get myself what I want, right? And so we're in the Dillard's. At this particular Dillard's here, they have more of the upscale perfumes. While we were in there, the guy was trying to sell me Bond, Bond. That's a good place if you've never had an upscale perfume. I'm gonna tell you, ladies, the first place you should start is Bond Scent of Peace. You probably want to write that down. Okay, write that down. That's your first one. Everybody, if you're going to get a Bond, and I'm going to tell your family that's what you want, and then they're going to be like, that's almost $300, right? So what? That's what I want. Let them all chip in and get it for you, all right? So ladies, an upscale perfume, first place you should start if you want to go upscale is Bond, all right? Go there. I promise you, you'll love it, okay? So if you look at my counter in my dressing room, my counter looks like the Bond counter at the department store. And they were trying to sell me Bond colognes. And my husband said, she doesn't need those because she has almost all of them. And they were looking at, because you know why people say that, and they be lying. So what he had my cousin do, Nikki, is he had my cousin take a picture of my closet in my room where I have all of the perfumes displayed on a beautiful mirrored, like these dressers. And he was like, oh, y'all was telling the truth. Oh, okay. So I said, yeah, I don't need Bond. I have those. Show me something else. So I say all that to say to you, I'm trying to help you think bigger. Think bigger. Wealth has a smell. It has a look. It's not about your clothes. I don't shop at that store anymore. I could go into a cheaper store. It doesn't matter. Where something is less expensive and I can make it look good, especially if I got a nice timepiece on my arm and I smell good. Does everybody understand where I'm going, what I'm talking about? Okay? Now, so this says your desire is the motor power that will move you in the direction. This is one page of this book, y'all. We done spent 35 minutes in this one page of the book, which is why I said I don't rush through a book. We gonna get it. We are going to get it. Okay? So this says, know that you will, wait a minute, let's go back. See yourself moving toward the wealth you visualize. I want everybody right now to take a moment and close your eyes. Don't look at me. Don't look at the screen. Just hear my voice. Just close. If you're driving, please don't close your eyes. Okay? Don't be like, well, officer, she told me to close my eyes. If you're driving, don't close your eyes. If you're driving, keep your eyes on the road. But for everybody else that's here, close your eyes. And I want you to visualize, what do you want to look like? What do you want to smell like? How often do you want to go to the massage parlor and get a massage? How often do you want to be able to get your hair done? How often do you want to go get your nails done and not wonder how much it's going to cost you for the design? I had to tell my nail girl, stop telling me what it costs for the designs. If I'm telling you that I want it, I'm not worried about what it's going to cost me. Give me the designs. Oh, well, you know what it's going to cost. Stop saying that to me. How often do you want to go to the barbershop? Like, how often do you want to look sharp? How often do you want your lines to be sharp? How often do you want the housekeeper to show up? Close your eyes, because some of you may be doing good right now, but why would we allow our good to be the enemy of great and then great to be the enemy of best? What do you want? See, I now want my housekeeper to come more than she's coming. I want her to come every week. I want somebody to come wash the clothes, fold them up nicely. Does everybody understand? What do you want? Visualize it. I want to help you. Think bigger, much faster. Dream bigger. What do you want? Do you want somebody to cook your meals, prepare them early in the week for you so at least you'll have them stored up in the refrigerator? Or do you want meal prep? Like, what do you want? Do you want to be able to fly instead of drive? Unless you're like my husband who don't like flying. Do you want to be able to stay in 5-star hotels and not worry about how much it's going to be? Maybe your desire right now is to just be able to pay all your bills on time and early. What do you want? Visualize it. Stop making people make you believe that you can't have it. Some of you got to get out of the circles that you're in. The people that you're around, stinking thinkers. Raise your awareness. Raise your thinking, your thoughts. What do you want? Think about it. Visualize it. See the wealth you visualize being attracted to you. Know that you will come in contact with the wealth that is moving to you. God, I thank you for the wealth that's moving towards me. I am not repelling wealth. My faith is bringing it closer and closer and closer. And I touch and agree with all of the people that are watching here live now, and all of the people that are online watching, and all of the people that may return to this video. And we touch and we agree together that the wealth is moving towards us. No one knows what period of time must elapse. So don't become impatient if it doesn't materialize overnight. All we know for sure is that a certain period of time must elapse, and the period of time which your image must take to materialize is governed by the law of gender. Let me explain what the law of gender means. The law of gender decrees that there is a gestation or incubation period for the manifestation of all seeds. Make no mistake about it. The image of wealth that you choose to build on the screen of your conscious mind and turned over into your subconscious mind is a seed, and it is growing into physical form in the most fertile field of which you could ever conceive. Let me put it to you this way. When the girls got to the airport from our Moguls in Motion program this weekend, Misha, they had no idea that they were getting in luxury cars. They were hopeful that they were. And what we started to ask the girls before those cars pulled up, well, what's your dream car? Can you name your dream car? And Paige said, a Lamborghini. A Lamborghini. Now, Sonia, you got to know that she didn't choose, Sharnice, a Lamborghini at that moment. That it was already a seed that was manifested in her mind, Tedra, that a Lamborghini, Jasmine, was her favorite car. So as we started telling the girls, manifest it. Like, what is your favorite car? Think about what you're dreaming about. Think about what you want. Think about what you want right now. And then we said, now turn around. And the girls started screaming, Miss Betty. And we was like, now go pick a car. And their little brains were just like, they didn't know what to do. They were running around, screaming, hollering. They didn't know what to do. Paige got back to where the Lamborghini was one of the first cars in the front. And she got back up to the Lamborghini, and another girl ran up to the Lamborghini with her at the same time. So the young lady that owned the Lamborghini said, I guess y'all got to do rock, paper, scissors. Paige said, okay, because I'm going to win. Bam, 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 and won. Because she had already manifested. It wasn't at that moment, Miss Edna. She had already sowed the seed. So she manifested the car of her dreams, which was right there. So while she was in that car, I said, rub the car. I FaceTimed her. I said, rub the car. Take pictures in it. See yourself in that car. If that's your dream car, manifest it, baby. Think big, much bigger, much faster. I said, touch the car, take a picture, see yourself in it, smell the car. What does it smell like, Paige? How do you feel riding in it, Paige? Because get used to it, baby. Do we understand? So what the law of gender is, the period or the gestational period of how long it takes for your dream to come to fruition based on a seed that you plant. And then Lady Ebony, what do you do to the seed after you planted it? How do you water that seed? See, it is not necessary at this point for anyone else to see this new wealth. It is not even necessary for anyone else to believe that you will receive it. This is not about anybody else, ladies and gentlemen. This is about what we believe. This is about the fact that Paige stood there from like flat-footed, firm, like Lamborghini. And I was like, really? I didn't even know that one. And then bam, Lamborghini. Because it didn't matter that mama didn't know or believe. Some of y'all, it didn't matter that I thought she was going for the Rolls Royce. But the Rolls Royce was mine, not hers. I hope some of y'all just learned that lesson. The Rolls Royce was mine. It wasn't hers, Sharnice. It was mine. So just like that was hers, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I don't see it. It doesn't matter who doesn't see it. It doesn't matter who doesn't believe it. Her vision was a Lamborghini. We understand? Those are the seeds she's sowing. It doesn't matter. So the premise that Napoleon Hill built his life's work on is absolutely true. Anything the mind can conceive and believe, it will achieve. Expressed another way as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. The ancients refer to the subconscious mind as your heart. So it says, as a man or woman, I'm going to paraphrase, as a man or a woman thinketh in his heart, so is he or she. Psalm 23:7. Napoleon Hill said, anything that the mind can conceive and believe, it will achieve. So are you not manifesting what you're really saying because you really don't believe that it can happen? So what you believe is that it can happen for everybody else, but you don't believe that it can happen for you? I'm no better than nobody on here. I am no bigger than anybody on here. So right now, yeah, my influence might be bigger. My impact might be bigger, but it wasn't always. It wasn't always. I was the girl that flew on planes, Sharnice, to other states, rented a car to go show up in a state to do meetings for people that didn't even show up for their own meeting. The host didn't even show up, Matia. After I got my behind on a plane, rented a car, got a hotel room for the host to not even show up for her own event. See, how many of y'all on here are like, I would have quit? See, because that one little thing would have been, oh, see, I knew this wasn't going to work. Oh, see, I knew this wasn't going to work. Guess what I knew? Sharnice, it was a tax write-off. Did I lose? Did I lose? Did I lose? No, I didn't lose. I didn't lose, but I learned. Now people got to qualify me to come to their city or state. Because if I'm going to pay my money, you got to show me that you can put people in the room. And you know, most times I know that people can put people in the room because I can look at the back office and see it. Because if you can put people in the room, you can put people in the back office. If you can put people in the room, you can get people on a Zoom, like tonight at 8 o'clock. I always believe that it should start there first. Get people in the back office, get people on the Zooms, then we come to the rooms. Because why would we come to the room when there's nobody in the back office and nobody on the Zooms? Because if you have influence enough, And then you can influence somebody to get on a Zoom. Does this make sense? So what now makes me have to believe that if you can't influence anybody to get on a Zoom, that now you're going to put 20 people in a room or 10 people in a room? Does this make any sense? I learned. I didn't lose anything. It was a tax write-off, Jasmine, and I learned now I have to make people pre-qualify. Show me that you can get 50 people in a room, 30 people in a room, 10 people in a room, 20 people in a room, 5 people in a room. Like, can we get 5 people in a room? Because if we can get 5 people in a room, we can get 5 people on a Zoom. Does this make sense? Because that shows that you've got some influence when you can influence people to show up because it's you. I hope listen. So your subconscious mind can no more change or alter your image than an ordinary mirror can reflect back to you an image different from the object that you are holding in front of it. So now, Sharnice, here's the problem. We want our subconscious mind, Mattia, to present to us a different picture than what we even believe about ourselves. That ain't no way. The subconscious mind is the mirror. Just like the mirror that you're standing in front of only shows the reflection of who you really are. So it doesn't matter that we put on a girdle and we try to hide the rolls. When we roll that bad boy off, out comes the rolls with it. Do we understand what I'm saying? It doesn't matter, ladies, what we do. We can try to hide it, and in the mirror, we like, pow, bam, bam, bam. But then when we take that garment off, the reality is that rut roll. Okay, I maybe ought to exercise a little bit. I maybe ought to push back away from that table. Because we cannot hide the true reality, just like our subconscious mind cannot make us believe something that we really don't believe for ourselves. But remember, from the object that you're holding in front of it. But remember, as you think, so are you. As you think, so are you. Does not mean as you tell people you think, or as you would wish the world to believe you think. It means that your innermost thoughts, which only you control, know the truth. Just say, ouch, hallelujah in the comments. Go on, just say, ouch, hallelujah. Ouch, ouch, ouch. It's all right, because we're going to get better together. We're going to get better together. We're going to get better together. That is what you expect. So that is what you attract. If business isn't moving, your relationships aren't moving, your influence isn't moving, you're not impacting anybody, you're not growing. If none of those things are happening, it is because it's what you expect. So yeah, I got my team, y'all, putting up these posts, and we did it for 7 days, and then many of us chose to keep doing it. Because why would we stop? Why would we? I know I can't afford to stop. Sharnice, I need 1,000 customers in the system by December 31st, 2025. Now I got to start asking my customers to help me get customers. Because if every one of my customers that are in the system went and invited one person to be a customer, that'll be 3/4 of the way there. So this says that is what you expect. So that is what you attract. And that is what you will ultimately receive. Every one of us right now are living out exactly what we believe. And so I started to say, I had my team, we've been posting every hour on the hour. So that was from 9 to 9, 12 posts a day. Now, some people was like, oh, I ain't doing 12 posts a day. Forget about it. You done. You canceled the blessing. Right, Mattia? Canceled it. They canceled it. Some of y'all was like, I'm gonna put these up, but ain't nobody gonna buy from me, no way. Canceled the blessing. Canceled the blessing. Some of you were like, well, I mean, I did a couple of them, but I didn't get them all. Because that wasn't the assignment. Does everybody understand? See, some things have to be done exactly the way they're supposed to be done. And what spirit did you do it in? If you did it, as far as the book says, if you did it, and this says, you got exactly what you expected. You attracted exactly what you expected. No book, no person, no nothing can change that about you but you. Nobody, Nina can't sit on the phone with people for an hour. You can't pay me $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to coach you, and if you get off the coaching with me or come from around me and you still don't believe, it's your problem, not mine. Because I can give you all the strategy in the world. If you don't believe it when you do it, it's what you expected. I expect that every single time I put up a post that I'm going to get 100 people to buy from that link. That's what I expect. And you know why? When I posted, I'm saying, in Jesus' name, let's get 100 people to buy from this post. I'm speaking those things that are not as though they are. Lord, I want for every time a person that is connected to me opens up Facebook, I want them to see my post. That's what I say. And then, as busy as I am, I still show up for trainings. I still show up for meetings. I still show up for calls. What? And I still, in the middle of a weekend that I don't even know I don't know how I got it done, because it doesn't matter how I got it done. All that matters is it got done. And still put 30 people in the system this weekend. Oh, that was just the customers. That didn't include the reps. 30. But y'all think that happened this weekend. It didn't happen this weekend. It happened like the guy said. He was laying on the park bench. And on the park bench, he knew. See, I knew when I was a teenage mom, standing in front of the church, having to tell everybody that I was pregnant. I knew then that I was a superstar. Some of y'all gonna catch that. I knew while I was raising my children by myself, going through a divorce, dragging myself into the church every Sunday while people were laughing at me and talking about me and mocking me about the fact that I was going through a divorce. That why was I even leading worship anyway? You going through a divorce. You don't need to be standing in front of nobody while you going through a divorce, singing over people, and you going, what did that even mean? Like, how ridiculous does it even sound? Well, I was dragging myself there every Sunday. I knew, one day I'm gonna be a star. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be able to go into my room, a room that looks like a closet, one day. From only now I welcome shopping in the thrift stores, but from only shopping from a thrift store or consignment shop or buying jeans off of a rack on Broad Street, outside on Broad Street. They used to sell clothes outside on Broad Street. That's where I had to get my stuff from. I knew that I would be able to dress the way I wanted one day. I didn't know how, but I knew. And I believed it with every fiber of my body that I was going to be successful. And y'all, I'm just getting started. I'm not there yet. But I'm grateful for the journey. Because I'm getting what I expect to attract. What I expect. Through the studying power of your subconscious mind of spirit, it will become easier and easier for you to come to expect the good that you desire. It will become easier and easier. All things are possible in spirit because in its original state, spirit is a sensitive, unseen, creative substance where whose sole purpose is expansion and fuller expression. In other words, growth. However, spirit or creative substance can only reproduce, expand, and express itself in accordance with the limitation placed upon the instrument through which it expresses itself. My God in heaven. I'm going to stop right there because I don't even think our brains could take no more of this chapter. This is so good. We're on page 93 and we will, listen. I'm going on vacation next week. So I won't be here next Monday. Is that all right with y'all? Because I need to rest my body. Okay. So I am going on vacation next week. So Monday, normally I would be like, but I'm still going to do book club. I really got to give our daughter 100% of my attention.
Please take a break. No, you're not allowed.
Yeah. So we're not doing book club next Monday. But y'all know I'm gonna be present, right? I ain't disappearing, but I will be, we'll be away. So we're gonna start back up the following week on page 93, and we will finish Expect an Abundance, I think, maybe, right? And let me read this poem to you before we end this evening, because we do have another call at 8 o'clock. Thoughts are things. I hold it true that thoughts are things. They're endowed with bodies and breath and wings. And though we send them forth to fill the world with good results or ill, that which we call our secret thought speeds forth to earth's remotest spot, leaving its blessing or its woes like tracks behind it as it goes. We build our future thought by thought, for good or ill, yet know it not. Yet so the universe was wrought. Thought is another name for fate. Choose then thy destiny and wait. For love brings love, and hate brings hate. Woo! This little chapter, I told y'all that I thought chapter 5, the abundance chapter, was going to kick us in our butt. And it is, in a good way. I pray that there's something that we said that that inspired you in a way that it will inspire you to action. Just know that I was only speaking what the book said. Don't hate the messenger, hate the message. But literally, if you feel a little bit like your toes hurt a little bit, that's a good thing, because then that means that there's areas in you and in us all that we need to grow up in. All right. And that's a good thing, that we don't allow ourselves to stay where we are, because where we are is the comfort zone. And in order to have more than what we have right now and be more than we are right now, it means that we've got to get uncomfortable. All right. So I pray that you all will be back. It'll be the second Monday in September. I'm sorry, the second Monday in August. Look, I done skipped the whole month. The second Monday in August will be back. I didn't mean to skip a whole month. I'm not taking a month off. I was about to say something smart. See, God just bridled my tongue. I'm not taking a month off. I'm just only right. It'll be Monday, August the 11th. We'll be back for book club. All right. But I will still be very, very present on social media, and I might throw some things out there in my lives and things like that. So make sure that you're inviting people to this live. We have another Zoom. It will not be on this Zoom line at 8 o'clock. We had to actually create a new link for the new platform of Zoom that we're actually doing. So if you're on our team currently, it's in all the chats. It's in the team pages. It's in the chats. It's everywhere. We've posted them multiple times for the last few days. It's an 864 number, right? It's not the 678 number. It's an 864 number. And we want you to be back, because we have a bilingual simultaneous translation call at 8 o'clock, which we're going to be showing the money. All right. So remember that God loves you. I love you. And there's absolutely nothing you could do about it. I want you to pay it forward, do a good deed, and be kind to one another. Be nice this week, right? And forevermore. And we'll see y'all soon. Okay. We'll see you on Monday.